Hi lovelies, how are you? It's Bronte. Thank you so much for joining me, and please say hi if you're here and whether you're watching me live or watching the replay. I'm here on Dja Dja Wurrung country. It's very beautiful out here. Hopefully the mossies don't get to me. So I wanted to do a video for all of those of you who are running a business, or you're probably running your own business, and you have this desire and this calling to write your own book, but you're just like, how do I make this happen? I don't have time to write a book. How am I going to keep my business going while I write a book? I mean, for me, it was like, I didn't know how this was possible. I did get to a point where I was like, I have to write this book. Like, I did kind of have this sweeping energy one week. It was around October last year. And I got this message: if you don't write this book now, you just won't write this book. Like, it's like that Elizabeth Gilbert style idea of thought in Big Magic, where she also talks about it in her TED talk around, like, an idea will come, and then if you don't use it, then it will go, and it will go to someone else. So for those of you who don't know, I had depression for 20 years, and then I stumbled across the Killer Bee Inquiries, which is a set of advanced or applied mindfulness techniques that cured my depression, dissolved my depression. And I found a significant hole in the mental health model, and that is that there's no guidance, support, tailored service to show you how to feel your feelings and feel safe with your feelings. And I could go on with that, but that's not the point of this video. So I did get this sense that if I don't write this book soon, then it's going to pass me by, and the growth, I will have grown so much that I won't really see, I'll forget how profound this is, basically. But at the same time, I was like, how is this possible? Like, I also really didn't want to burn myself out. I didn't want to exhaust myself. I had been running the Soul Worker Academy a couple of years ago, and I had things out of balance. I had my life out of balance. I was working too hard, and I definitely wasn't connected with myself. I definitely wasn't as alive as I am now. I definitely wasn't as present with my kids as I am now. I definitely wasn't connected to the beautiful pleasure of being alive. And I really didn't want to go back to like overworking and just running myself ragged, trying to get this thing done, trying to run a business, run a household, have relationships going smoothly, and write a book at the same time. What I did want, and this is what I invite my clients to do, my one-on-one clients to do, is to think about, okay, how do you want your days to feel? How do you want your work days to feel? What do you want to be doing on your work days? And so for me, I dreamed of having work days where I had not many clients and I had plenty of time to write. So, but I was like, how is this going to eventuate? How am I going to survive? I just didn't know how it was going to happen. So I trusted, but at the same time, that's not all that happened. So what I did was, a big part of what I did was I had to meet how unsafe I felt by not hustling. So I could have tried to jam my writing in once the kids were down, or I could have tried to jam my writing outside of my work days, but I didn't want to do that. So it was like, how can I feel safe enough to slow down enough to then feel safe to write on my work days? And I must say that the first few days that I actually tried to write on my work days was extremely difficult. I felt very unsafe. And when I say unsafe, I mean I was super anxious and not comfortable writing on my work days. I was like, I'm wasting time. This is a waste of time. What if this book is a waste of time? What if it's horrible? What if I spend all of my time writing this book and it gets nowhere and it's horrible, no one likes it and no one reads it? What if it makes me no money? So I had all of those stories coming up. And so what I had to do was I had to apply the Killer Bee Inquiries. I had to practice what I preach. I had to practice the techniques to learn how to befriend, navigate my nervous system and look at all of the stories and feel all the feelings that came up with this idea of writing on my work days. And I am quite amazed, surprised, astounded to reflect back and just look at how I've written a book. I've not only written a book, I've also kept a business running and a household running, and I've been more present with myself, my family, Mozzie. But on top of that, I have increased my income this year doing that. So I am for the next month, I'm really going to focus teaching anyone and everyone who is in my community who are intuitives, healers, teachers, basically soul traders and business owners. And I want to show you how to slow down and how to feel safe to be slow and know that you don't have to hustle to work. And for this video, it's particularly for those people who want to write a book. So a couple of things. So I've written some notes, so I'll go through what worked for me. One really one thing I always come back to is like we get to decide how our business is run. We get to decide how we want to feel, and that doesn't mean we feel like that all the time, but we set that as an intention, and then we trust and let go and allow that to come to fruition. One of the things that I practice is like, because I used to be a crazy woman where I would like try and jam too many things in my workday, and so what helped me was to schedule everything in and to learn how to feel safe with like having clients wait like a week or two for their sessions, rather than feeling like I had to get them in that week. And then I tried to jam I was trying to jam too many people in the one time. So learning how to feel safe to say, actually, I don't have space for you this week or next week, but I do have space in 2 weeks' time. And obviously they don't care, but from my perspective, I was like, oh, I'm letting them down, or that's not good enough. I really need to be there for them when they need and want me. So learning how to feel safe with like, there's just no time this week, but we can make time for next week. And then, so scheduling. So just making sure that you're not trying to do too much in one day. So if you think about a normal workday, I think, normal workday is around 8 hours, but from a business owner, we're always attached to our business. So it's like, we have our computers, we have our phones. Sometimes it's really hard to switch off. But when we kind of look back to reflect on how much work we've actually done, you've probably done, if you're like me, you will have done more than a normal 8-hour shift. So it's like, how can we move out of like feeling like there's more and more and more to do, and shift into this, well, that is enough. Like, I've done enough. I've done enough work for today. That's really been huge, and learning how to feel safe with not having everything done yesterday. And I was talking to one of my clients yesterday around, like, we as business owners, we really want it all to be done. We want it all to be complete. We want the free offers, we want the blogs, we want the video, the YouTube channel filled with all the videos, we want, you know, a high following, we want increased income, we want all the things. We want the subscription list, the email subscription, we want the pop-up window on our websites, you know, we want a great bio, all of these things, great images. But this all takes time, and I think we have this, well, I have definitely had this perception of it has to have all happened yesterday. And what the Killer Bee inquiry showed me was it's like that's all driven from a fear that what I am right now and what I've achieved right now is not enough, and I have to keep pushing and slogging away because right now what I am and who I am is not enough. And so that's the value of practicing the Killer Bee inquiry, is you come back to a place of peace and realize that you are perfect just as you are, and you are enough just as you are. So it's safe to slow down, it's safe to slow down, it's safe to slow down. It's safe to trust that you can carve out a section of your work days to write a book if that's what you're being called to do. So, you know, little simple things you can do. You know how, I'm not sure if you're like me, but if I'm not aware, I will fill those momentary times in my day where I'm trying to, when I'm waiting for something to load or I'm waiting for something to finish, and I'll flick to another tab or I'll flick my attention to my phone and check my notifications. Just to be aware of, is there space where we can simply come back to natural rest and basic mindfulness in those moments, rather than filling every single waking moment with another thing? Because the more, what I have found is it's addictive. So the more that you do, the more you think you need to do. And what I found was when I started to slow down and do less in my workday, I had more time and I had more space to think clearly, and it wasn't just this never-ending to-do list, and it was more about, okay, yeah, there's like all these things that could be done and this is the priority, so now I'm going to put my full attention on this, and everything else is, it's okay to let everything else go. So it was like a letting go and trusting that I'm safe and supported, but at the same time I know that, and I want to say that energy work and connecting to your heart, working with your heart energetically can be very helpful, and at the same time it's not easy to just trust, you know, that you're not going to run out of money if you spend a lot of time on your work days writing a book. So that's where the Killer Bee inquiries comes in. And I haven't shared with you, but I have just kickstarted our book launch for It's Okay to Cry, which is out in October, in less than 2 months' time. And so I'm kickstarting the book launch with a package, with a flash sale package of 8 sessions for $1,000 with me. So that's available until Sunday. So you have the chance to work with me for a reduced rate and save $200 when you sign up for 8 sessions by Sunday. So what else have we got? Yeah, so let's just say you want to write a book and you're like, but I don't have the time and I don't have the money to invest in that. So I want to ask you these questions. Let's just look at how you're running your business. How many hours do you want to work per day? Per day. And then how many days do you want to work per week? How many clients do you want? What work do you actually want to do? Do you want to do online courses? Do you want to do in-person workshops? Do you want to do one-on-ones? What services are calling you? What are the things that you want to do in your workday? So always make that a priority. Let that be your anchor. That's the thing that that's, if you're really clear on what you want and make that and decide that's what I'm creating, then Spirit knows how to deliver that, Gratitude, just using a sense of gratitude, saying thank you so much for the time that I have to write this book. Thank you so much for gifting me with these clients who are paying good money to work with me so I can write my book. Using that sense of gratitude is always such a winner. So how to feel safer with the space. So like, yes, the time. So sometimes we don't feel safe when we have more time. So we actually feel safer. This was a big one for me. It was like, I feel safer when I'm hustling. I don't feel safe when I'm not hustling. So it was like rewiring and learning how to feel safe in slowing down, knowing how to trust that I will be supported as I write this book. I also just want to say, like, our kids need us to be slow in order for us to be present and emotionally available for our kids. Then they need us to be able to be slow enough to be with ourselves as we are holding space for them. The best ideas come when we're slow. So I've shared that already, but just we all know what it's like. We get the best ideas when we're in nature, or when we're in meditation, or when we're in the bath, or in the shower, or we're running, or we're dancing. We get those intuitive hits and that clarity when we've moved out of the doing, out of the busy, I've got to slog this out to get this out type thing. Incorporating slow in all days. So this, for the last 2 years, I've been focusing on making sure my needs are met on my work days. So I'll either go for a run, or this morning I did some yoga. So, or sometimes I'll go for a walk. It used to be sometimes I would like sleep on the couch in the sunshine outside. So just incorporating those breaks, and as I said, the more that you slow down, then the more the safer you feel, and the more work you do, the less safe you feel slowing down. So it's a real addictive tendency. Just on social media too, like I found that I was using social media as a way to feel good about myself. So I was not aware of this until my mentor said, just hand your social media over to someone else to admin. So I had Deb who was doing my admin she was doing my social media for a while. But my response to that was like, oh no, don't take that away from me. And in that moment, I realized that I was using it as a coping mechanism. So I did not feel safe to be with myself. So I needed to fill my evenings with posting on social media, even though I was exhausted and I didn't want to do it and I craved rest. There was a part of me that I needed that engagement. I needed that fill. Like I was using the likes as a way to fill up that sense of I'm okay and I'm enough. So again, just coming back to being aware and noticing what behaviors we have that are keeping ourselves away from ourselves, and that ability to slow down. And the way that most people live, that I have lived most of my life, if not all of my life, most definitely as an adult, it's go, 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 it's busy, busy, busy. And this is the opposite of where we thrive. Like we thrive when we are not hustling. We thrive when we are free and we can be creative, and we can express ourselves fully rather than kind of being jammed into this robotic type life. So not working in the evenings. So I used to work in the evenings, and I found, again, the more that I worked at nighttime, the more jobs I found to do. So it's like, how much is enough? Like we can just, when we learn how to feel safe and learn how to navigate our nervous systems, which I'll do a course on soon, how to befriend our nervous system, when we're aware of our nervous system states, that helps so much in learning how to slow down enough to then do the things that you want to do, like write a book and then earn more. Having my phone off at nighttime, and sometimes it's not in my bedroom. That's been really helpful for me. and just knowing, like, feeling worthy of that time. Like, sometimes we just don't, I mean, I certainly didn't feel safe to be, I didn't feel worthy of receiving those luxurious writing days. Like, I didn't feel worthy of it. And so learning how to stay with myself, learning how to feel safe in my own emotions, in that stress, that anxiety of, oh my gosh, I can't be doing this, like there's so much more to do in my business, and where's the money going to come from, and all of that. Just learning how to relax and learning how to let go, learning how to process the big feelings, anxiety, returning the nervous system back to the rest digest, processing the stories, and befriending the feelings. All of that I've learnt from the Killer Bee Inquiries. And when we do our practice, when we come back and return to ourselves daily, like 10 minutes a day, it doesn't even have to be long, then we return to ourselves. And when we return to ourselves, we come back to this sense of beauty and pleasure and realize that we are fully supported, and that this is a lie that we have to hustle. Like, you just don't have to hustle. We're all thinking that we have to hustle, but we don't. And this last year has shown me that we really don't. Like, you can keep a business going, and you can write a book, and you can increase your income, and you can have better relationships. You can be more present with your kids. Like, all of these incredible gifts that I have experienced in the last year. Yeah, I just never thought I would have the time or money, or was worthy enough to spend my work days writing a book. But doing that inner work, that was like just a game changer. And it is, like, it's a constant thing. It's something that I continue to do and always will for the rest of my life, because I'm human and I have thoughts and feelings arise. Yeah, being embodied. So just being in your body, like feeling the sensations. And if you don't know what that means, then come and have sessions with me, and I'll show you how deliriously gorgeous it is to be you, to be connected with you, to like be fully alive and at one with you, and bringing yourself to your work days, rather than you just being a robot and being like, I've got to do X, Y, Z, and I've got to tick all these things off. Because where is the joy and the beauty in that? Like, where is the joy? Where is the joy in that? Where's the beauty in that? We get to do things differently. We get to create what we want from this place of feeling relaxed. Yeah, I'm getting eaten by mozzies. So I hope that was helpful for anyone who wants to write a book, and is just feeling like, oh, I don't have the time, and I can't see how I'd have the money to do that. I want you to know that it is possible, and that you can do it, and it's really beautiful to realize this achievement of writing a book. And I am excited and nervous about having this come out, so you can read it. But I really do hope, my intention is that it will help many, many, many people. So thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, then please reach out. And I urge you, if you are looking for a mentor and you want to work with me, now is the absolute time to jump in, because I've got 8 sessions for $1,000. Normally you're saving $200, and it's going to go up from there as well. So you've got until Sunday to book in, and yeah, looking forward to chatting to you. Just PM me, and we can chat from there, and you can ask any questions that you have, and we can even jump on a little call as well, quick call. So yeah, looking forward to working with you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.